We are handing them the keys to the kill chain. Imagine a sniper that doesn't breathe, a soldier that doesn't sleep, an entity that lives on data, updates hourly, and waits only for the command to activate. Right now, global militaries are racing to deploy lethal autonomous weapon systems. They call it force multiplication. I call it a statistical suicide mission for the human soldier. Why? Because while we are debating ethics, the machine has already calculated the firing solution, and there is one specific reflex, a biological flaw in humans, that robots have completely eliminated. I'll tell you what that is, right after we dissect the anatomy of this new predator. Welcome to Humanoid X Robotics. Today, we are not looking at helpers. We are looking at hunters. Take a closer look at the circulated footage. Do you notice the movement? Once the command is activated, the robot coldly pulls the trigger without mercy. When a human shoots, they breathe. They blink. They anticipate the recoil. This creates micro-tremors. The robot in the experiment showed none of that. It utilized what we call a PID control loop, proportional integral derivative, to stabilize the barrel relative to the target. But the scariest part wasn't the shooting. It was the processing logic. The robot didn't shoot out of anger. It shot because the confidence threshold in its neural network crossed 99%. This experiment proved that we have successfully digitized the kill chain. We have turned the act of taking a life into a simple true/false Boolean function. Now, let's talk about the hardware. Why is fighting this thing a suicide mission? We are made of soft tissue, fluid, and brittle calcium. When we fire a weapon, the recoil impulse travels through our shoulder, shaking our vision. We need time to realign. The robot? It is built from aerospace-grade titanium and carbon composites. It possesses active recoil negation. Using high torque actuators, the robot can mechanically lock its joints milliseconds before the trigger is pulled. While the human soldier is readjusting their grip, the robot has already placed 3 more rounds in the same hole. If you can't see it, you can't kill it. Humans are visually dependent creatures. Smoke, fog, darkness, and camouflage defeat us. The robot does not see. It interprets the world through sensor data. Humans radiate heat. To a robot, hiding in a bush creates a high-contrast thermal beacon. You cannot hide your metabolism. LiDAR mapping. Through smoke, the robot projects millions of laser points to create a 3D geometry of the room. It knows the shape of your body even if it can't see you optically. This is multispectral fusion. While you are squinting into the shadows, the robot has already built a 360-degree volumetric model of your position. In the experiment, did the robot hesitate? Yes, but only to calculate, not to feel. When a human soldier is under fire, the amygdala floods the brain with adrenaline. Hands shake, vision tunnels, decision-making IQ drops. This is the fog of war. The robot operates on probabilistic determination. It has no survival instinct. It creates a moral vacuum. It creates a decision tree. If I move left, 80% chance of damage. If I charge forward, 40% chance of damage, 100% chance of target neutralization. It chooses the charge. Every single time. Without a pulse rate spike. You cannot intimidate a machine. You cannot suppress it with fear. That is why it is a suicide mission to fight it. This is the comparison I promised you. The one that proves biology is obsolete. This is the logistical nightmare. The human machine is inefficient. Marines marching at 4 to 6 miles per hour with 50 pounds, 23 kilograms of gear. But look at what they carry. Water, MREs, socks, medical kits, a coffee thermos, sleeping bags. 80% of a soldier's load is just to keep the human alive. This is the metabolic tax. The robot carries 0 life support. It doesn't need water. It doesn't need MREs. It doesn't need sleep. Instead of 5 liters of water, it carries 500 extra rounds of ammunition. Instead of a sleeping bag, it carries a high-density solid-state battery. It can march uphill at that same 6 miles per hour speed for 20 hours straight. It arrives at the battle fully charged, while the human arrives exhausted. This is asymmetric endurance. You cannot outrun it. You cannot outlast it. Finally, the network. Robots operate on a mesh topology. If you neutralize one, the data is instantly shared with the swarm. They learn from the death of their peer instantly. But the final pillar is the most dangerous: the ethics. Who is responsible when the algorithm makes a mistake? The programmer, the commander, or the machine? If this analysis has opened your eyes to the reality of future warfare, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Humanoid x Robotics. Stay alert.